Hey, folks. Good evening. Mute myself over here. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Logan, joined here by Jaitee Parulekar with Study in UK, educational consultant for folks who are interested in studying in the United Kingdom. We're going to chat for half an hour and then take some questions as well. So feel free to fire them into the Q&A at your leisure. Put them in there. We'll keep an eye on it. We are recording this presentation as well. We'll share the link with anyone who registered. So if you want a refresher, feel free to check that out. Otherwise, yeah, stick around until the end for some Q&A. And thanks so much for joining us. I'll pass it on to the star of the show, Jaitee. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Logan. And hello, everyone. Thank you for taking our time to listen to me today. A little introduction. My name is Jaitee. I am the managing consultant, or call me the head of consultants in Canada for Study in UK. Study in UK, I'm not sure how many of you have heard about us, but it's an old company. It's about 18 years old now, started in 2006 in London and then started expanding throughout the world. And currently we have more than 93 offices around the world. In Canada, the headquarters for North America, so all students from Canada and the US are processed through the Canadian headquarters, which is in Toronto. We also have another branch in Vancouver. And Vancouver is our newest office out of all the 93 offices around the world. Vancouver office started just last year, and we plan to expand further. So like I said, wherever you are in Canada or in the US, you can get in touch with us. We are happy to assist you. Now, well, I'll tell you what we do. We are made up of qualified consultants, meaning all the consultants that we have, we've got 10 or 12 in Toronto, some in Vancouver, one in Nova Scotia, some in US as well. Almost all of them are UK graduates, including myself. So we know exactly what it takes to, apply to the UK, what the anxieties are for parents, how the process goes. From the student's point of view, we've been in your boat. So we help you with our personal experiences as well. And we are also trained by the universities. We are trained directly by the UK universities, as well as possess or hold a British Council certification as consultants. Okay, so all our consultation is of high quality, and we have information directly from the universities and the UKBI and the British Council. Almost all, well, really all of our services are free of cost. I'll tell you more about that. And if you know about UCAS, UCAS is the common application portal on which you apply to 5 different universities, mostly for undergraduate programs. We are the official UCAS center in North America. So if you go onto UCAS for your application, I'm pretty sure you'll see our logo. If you need any assistance, you can get in touch with us regarding UCAS. Now, we help you with everything right from now, even if you're just thinking about studying in the UK and are not sure what to study or where to study, all the way till you reach the university in the UK. We help you with everything from the start till the end. Okay, so to start with, we tell you what documents are required, what format works, what doesn't work. We approve your documents as well. We help you with your essays, your answers, filling out your application form. We match you with the right university. So this is our main job, to match you with the right university. It's not just about telling you where you're eligible. It's also about telling you which universities meet your requirements. You might have certain requirements based on location, budget. You want to join a rowing club, for example. So which universities offer that? So we match you with the universities and match both requirements from both the sides. We, like I said, are the official UCAS center. This is the common application form for any UK university. Plus, there are some universities which take applications outside of UCAS, meaning we have a direct portal with the university. So you just give us the documents once. There's no UCAS in between. We can send it directly to the university. Okay. we handle the university correspondence communications for you. So instead of you having to reply to 5 or 6 different universities, we take it over from you. So you will be getting a dedicated consultant who will be able to communicate to all the universities on your behalf. We also have industry experts who help you through the application process. I'll explain you how, all the way till scholarships, what funding works, what doesn't work, to receiving offers, to finally accepting your place and going to the UK. Like I said, we assist you with everything from scratch till the time you're there in the UK, or even after. We've got a head office in London and branch in Manchester and everywhere. So right now is a good time to apply for 2025 September intake. In the UK, there are 2 intakes. September being the main one. All universities, all programs start in September. January is the minor intake. Not all universities start in January. Not all programs start in January. There'll be very few. Okay, so you're primarily looking at September intake every year. For any September intake, you need to start 1 to 1.5 years before the program starts. So for September 2025, now is the good time to start preparing your applications. Okay, for September 2024 entry, the application is still open, not for all the universities, not for all the programs, but plenty of universities and programs are still open for September 2024 intake. You just have to hurry up. If you're looking for this year's intake, please get in touch with us as soon as possible. Taking the example of 2025 September intake, how the timeline goes is you start from the previous year's May. Okay, we gather your documents, we tell you what essay to write. We have editors to help you with that, what entrance test, if there are any, what to write, where to write, how to prepare, etc. From now till September, we put together everything for you. September is when the submission begins. So we'll have everything ready. We'll discuss the universities, which universities match your requirements, and vice versa. September, everything should be ready. Your application requirements, we know your universities, we hit the submit button. Okay, that's when we start submitting from September. October 15th is the first application deadline. That only applies to Oxford, Cambridge, and medicine, dentistry, vet med, few programs and few universities. Second deadline is called the equal consideration deadline, which is usually in the end of January, meaning all applications submitted till, for example, 29th January will definitely be considered. After 29th of January, universities start closing down or filling up their places. So A university can close in February, B university can close in March, C may close in June, and so on. June 30th is the last deadline, final deadline, where all the universities close, even if they have places left. Okay. Assuming we apply early, sometime between September and October, November, December, or even January, you should hear back from all universities by February or March end. Once you have all offers from all the universities that you've applied, then you select which university which offer you wish to accept. We help you with how to do that. Okay. Once you accept the offer, then you have to, well, first of all, fulfill the conditions. They might ask you for transcripts, reference letter, something else to provide. Just provide them everything and pay your deposit fee. Deposit fee is a part of the tuition fee, which you are expected to pay in about June, July, or August in the year of your entry intake. Okay, it's a part of the tuition fee, not the whole tuition fee. Once you pay the tuition fees, part of the tuition fee, and fulfill all the conditions, and give all the documents and information, then the university gives you something called the CAS, Confirmation of Acceptance for Studies, or essentially the visa letter. Once you have this, we help you apply for the visa. Now we work very closely with the BFS over here, the visa office. This is the only office you can use or apply for your UK student visa. there's only one body that is authorized to do this. So we work very closely with them. We do support with your visa application. And we assist you with accommodation, pre-departure briefing, everything in the month of July, August, September. And then you're good to go in September or October. Okay, so get in touch with us. You will get a dedicated consultant who will be your point of contact for the entire journey. They'll walk you through this process step by step. Now, like I said, for most programs that are at an undergraduate level, medicine, law, any bachelor's program that you're going to straight after high school is a bachelor's program. Bachelor's programs are applied through UCAS. UCAS is the common application portal on which you can apply to 5 universities. There are 5 spaces. You can name 5 universities over there. Like I said, 2024 intake September, this year's intake is still open. Not all the universities are open, but plenty are. So it's still not late to apply to start your education this year. Okay. On UCAS, the portal, you'll see once you start an undergraduate application, it will give you some prompts. It will ask you for a buzzword. We ask the students to use our buzzword. So if it's for this year's entry, the buzzword is UK application 16, or if you want to go start your program next year, the buzzword is UK application 17. What this does is by putting in the buzzword, your application is linked to us. So one of our advisors will be able to see your application. We'll be able to tell you if there are any mistakes, any errors, any place you can improve, and make some suggestions. Okay, so this way your application is error-free and enhanced to the best quality possible. Okay, you don't have to share your login details with us. We can't change anything on your application. We are only able to see your application once you use our buzzword and guide you from there. Okay. And yeah, so these are the steps. Once you register on UCAS, UCAS 2024 is now open. UCAS 2025 will begin in May, on May 14th specifically. So then you'll be able to enter this buzzword for next year. Okay. And the group is North America. So all Canadian and American students fall under North America. What documents do you require to get started? First of all, your transcripts. When I say transcripts, it's everything from grade 12 till today. If you're still in grade 12, we ask for grade 11 and grade 12 transcript. If you have graduated grade 12, then we need your grade 12 transcript and everything that you've done after grade 12, be it certification, be it diploma, be it short course, be it a university program, master's, PhD, whatever you've done after grade 12, we'll need the transcripts for everything. Okay. If you don't have a transcript, speak with a consultant. There are other ways out, but the universities would see a record of everything you've done from grade 12 till today. All applications require a personal statement. It's an essay. Why you want to go to UK, why you want to study this program, what are your credits, merits, why are you a good student, why are you a good fit for the university. We assist you with that. Okay, I'll tell you how. All applications will require reference letter or letters. If you're applying for an undergraduate program on UCAS, you need 1 reference letter. If you're applying for a postgraduate program, you need 2 reference letters. At least 1 academic reference letter is mandatory. Okay, so we give you the format for the reference letter. Ask us, we'll send you the format. You can send it to your referee. Essentially, your teacher, guidance counselor, or principal is also fine. They send it to us, we approve it, we attach it to your application. If you're still in grade 12, if you've not completed grade 12 yet, or you're still in grade 11, you also need something called predicted grades form because you're applying very early. You don't have grade 12 courses and marks. This is something your school fills out, saying that you will be writing English next year, predicted 95%. Calculus next year, predicted 88% or whatever, just examples. But UK universities would want to see predicted grades for all grade 12 subjects you will be writing next year. Passport copy is not mandatory, but good to have. So at this stage, it's not mandatory. But if you go ahead, get an offer, pay the fees, good to go to the UK, you will require your passport copy for the university to be able to issue you a visa letter. Hence, if you give it to us straight away, one requirement is already done. Okay. If you don't have a valid passport, don't worry. You have till 6 months before the program starts to have a valid passport. The last point is not for everyone. Most of the programs don't need any of these. Portfolio is only for arts programs. Work experience letter is only for health science programs and also conditional, not all health science programs. And there could be other additional documents. Our consultants will be able to tell you about that. Now, to give you some examples of entry requirements, I'll take one example, for example, law, which is the easiest to get into. There are 112 law schools in the UK. Yes, you can go to a law school in the UK straight after high school. You don't need a bachelor's degree. So grade 12, and then you go to the UK to study law, 3 years program. You get the same LLB degree. LLB is equivalent to JD, as you call over here in Canada. Okay, so you don't need a bachelor's degree to get into law school in the UK. What we follow over here in Canada is the same as what we follow in UK. It's common law, it's English law. Our law came from the UK, right? So you're going to the birthplace of law. For high school students who are just out of grade 12 or still in grade 12, you'll be studying 3 years. For students who already have a bachelor's degree, you will be studying the same program, but for 2 years, because you already have a bachelor's degree, and LLB is going to be your second bachelor's. Okay, like I said, there are 112 law schools. The minimum any university has ever asked for is 70% in grade 12. Okay, so the higher grades percentage you have, the better universities you'll be eligible for. Also, there's no LSATs in the UK. There's no entrance test. Out of the 112 law schools, I believe only 7 need an entrance test called LMAT. The rest, 100 and something, do not require any entrance test. The tuition fees become naturally affordable because in Canada, you have to study 4 years bachelor's, then write LSATs, then get into law school. In the UK, you're going into law school straight after high school. Plus, it's only a 3 years program. So essentially, you're saving 4 to 5 years worth of time and money and efforts. So it's cheaper that way. Also, the tuition fees can start from about $18,000 a year. This is the bare minimum, but the higher you go, the better ranked universities you look at, the higher will be the tuition fees. So an ideal range is about 18,000 Canadian dollars to go, say double it, 30,000 Canadian dollars per year. Again, it's going to be a 2 or a 3 years program. 3 years if you have only high school as your highest level of qualification, 2 years if you have a bachelor's degree. Okay, but this is not the end. You do have scholarships. Almost all UK universities offer scholarship. They can be as minor as, say, 1 to 10% or £1,000, which is an easy giveaway. Or there are higher scholarships, like 50% tuition fee or even more, £10,000 or something. The higher the amount of the scholarship, the more competitive it is and the less they are available. There might be a few number of awards. Okay, we do have certain scholarships as well. So some universities have vested some amount to us and we can nominate students based on need, based on merit. Just let us know if you're in need. The studies in the UK are very practical or market-oriented, practice-based. So when I was a student in the UK, most of my education was outside the university. I studied management. So when it came to marketing, I was put in a marketing firm. I was asked to observe and maybe participate in some projects, come back to the university, make a presentation that this was the problem, this is how they solved it, this was the solution or outcome, and this is how we learn. There will be lectures as well, but if you're going for any program that leads to a money-making career, it will be very practical. The UK universities are also research-led. The traditional universities are research-led. So if you're looking for PhD or, further continuous learning, lifelong learning, then there are research-based universities as well. But law is a very practical program. So most of the universities will offer moot courts, debates, pro bono projects, law clinics, a lot of things. Universities, almost all law schools will have a Canadian Law Society, meaning all Canadians in that law school in the UK come together from a Canadian Law Society. I know some of the universities have started putting Tim Hortons on their campus, so it's very Canadian friendly. Some of the universities offer Canadian law modules as well, so it helps you when you come back to Canada. Okay. The process after coming back to Canada is fairly simple. You write NCA exams. These are Canadian law exams, which are not offered in the UK, so you have to write it here. Then you do the articling, which is practicing under some barrister, lawyer, or solicitor here in Canada for about 10 months. And then you become eligible for the bar. So the bar requires 3 things: a qualifying law degree, which is 2 or 3 years, NCA exams after you graduate, articling after you graduate for 10 months. Okay. For any other questions, get in touch with us. We have a lawyer working with us. One is a criminal lawyer. Another one is another kind of law graduate. So they'll be able to give you more insights. Now, this was law, very simple. Any other program like business or engineering, biology, chemistry, they're all as straightforward as this. You don't need a bachelor's degree. You go into the professional school straight after high school. All you need is transcript, essay, reference letter. The most difficult program to get into in the UK is medicine, rather medicine, dentistry, vet med. Okay, because there are additional requirements. There aren't as many number of schools. There are about 35 schools only that offer medicine, fewer that offer dentistry, only 8 that offer vet med. Limited number of places for international students, and hence entry into medicine, dentistry, or vet med in the UK is very competitive. Okay. Having said that, they also don't need a bachelor's degree. Students go to medicine, dentistry, or vet med school straight after high school. It's going to be a 5 or 6 years program, depending on the school. You essentially study the same thing, but spread out over 5 or 6 years. The entry requirement is higher for medicine, dentistry, or vet med. You need at least 85% in all your sciences, and the more sciences you have, the better. Biology, chemistry are mandatory, plus a third science, which can be physics or math. If you have both, even better. Like you have MCAT here, we have UCAT in the UK. There's an entrance test for medicine and dentistry. There used to be something called BMAT, which has been scrapped last year, so there's only one test called UCAT. Okay. After graduating from a UK medicine school, you are allowed to find residency either in the UK or in the US or in Canada. I think the only exception is Quebec, because Quebec gives residency only to French graduates. Anywhere else in Canada, you can go and find residency and register for your license. Okay. Like I said, scholarships are available to almost all universities. I have to say, though, medicine is very expensive. Okay. While studying medicine in the UK, you will be practicing under NHS, which is the National Health Service, which is the largest healthcare body in the world. Okay, so go to any medicine school in the UK, you will be an NHS trained doctor by the end. You also have Canadian med societies. Like I said, in every university, you have a Canadian society bringing together all Canadians. Now, coming to the benefits. Now, you may be able to apply to any school in the UK by yourself. That's absolutely fine. Our services are free of cost as well. We are here because we want to make it easy for both you and the universities. So you are applying to the right universities, and the universities are getting the right kind of candidates, and nobody's wasting time. Okay, so we're a bunch of experts sitting over here ready to assist you for no cost. So we have an application manager who fills out the forms for you. There are certain aspects of our service or rather, they're not our service. We pull in the industry experts to assist you. For example, there are doctors, there are lawyers, there are physiotherapists, there are dentists, there are vets. These are practicing professionals in the industry that assist our students. Since they're not our full-time SIUK staff, they will have a fee. So there are some elements where you may want to pay, or this is an optional service. What happens under the paid service is while you write your essay on your own, we as editors, or we as consultants are happy to review it, give it a proofread and tell you, give our expert opinion. But we have industry experts who will be able to talk to you in depth, a little more hand-holding about your subject. The editors will have a fee, okay? Interview prep, like I said, doctors prepare you for the medicine interview, dentists for the dental school interview, vet for the vet med interview, physiotherapist for the physiotherapy interview, and so on. So if you want the interview assistance, interview prep, there will be a fee. We also give you priority for our scholarships if you work with us. Well, there are scholarships available outside, but we have some exclusively for SIUK students. Like I said, we handle the communications for you, so you don't have to communicate with several universities. You just tell us once, we do all the communication with all the universities for you. Since we are the middle experts, naturally the turnaround is quicker for both the universities and the students, because the students are applying efficiently and the universities don't have to do much digging or background checks and all that. They kind of trust us. If an application is coming through us, means you are eligible. So they still do check though, but the time that it takes for them is fairly less. Okay, so yeah, you can expect quicker turnaround if you apply through us, and higher acceptance rate, because we'll let you know where you're eligible and where you're not, and we'll give you the universities that where you stand the maximum chance. Okay. Now, after you apply, we don't say bye-bye. We still assist you with accommodation. We have an accommodation provider, a partner, so you have more options. We put together students. We have social media platforms where you can speak with other students going to the same university. We give you insurance options. We give you phone cards. So we have a lot of UK SIM cards or phone cards. You just put it in your phone and you have a phone number, good to use. And from us, we give you £5 credit to get started. So parents especially will have a phone number before you actually leave the country. Okay. We invite you to our pre-departure briefings. The pre-departure briefings will start from June, goes on all the way till September or even October, where we tell you what to pack in your bag, what to do once you land, or how much money to carry, what to take care of, the do's and don'ts, and everything you need to know. Okay, so you're best prepared when you arrive in the UK. Pre-departure briefing will be online as well as in person in Toronto and Vancouver. Keep an eye on our website, register for it. This is again exclusively for SIUK students. So get in touch with us to know how to avail this. Also, like I said, we work with the visa office over here. Usually, if you were to apply by yourself, you need to take an appointment with the visa office, and the appointments are available very far away, especially when it gets busy. The appointments last year were available after a month or after a month and a half. But we have reserved some appointments for our students, meaning our students don't have to wait for a bit. Our students can go to the VFS office the same week or the next week. We reserve some spots for our students. Okay. Right, so this brings me towards the end of my presentation. This is how you can get in touch with us. Please feel free to call on this number anytime or send us an email on this address. We will assign you a consultant. That consultant will be your point of contact for the entire journey from now till the time you're there in the UK and everything in between. Okay. If you have any further questions after this presentation, please scan this barcode. This will lead to our consultation form, I believe. Not today, but tomorrow or day after, somebody will get in touch with you, discuss your specific requirements, and help you proceed. Okay, So this is everything from me. I am happy to take your questions now.
Super, thanks so much, Jaitee. Really appreciate your expertise here. I feel like I've learned a few things, and I'm sure we'll learn a few more as we take some questions. So, folks, feel free to use the Q&A panel. We'll start from the earliest questions and make our way through. So, the first one is about personal statements. This student is wondering about using the same statement for multiple universities. Not really recommended. What do you think there?
Right. Just yesterday, we did a session, a webinar about personal statements. So depends on what program you're applying for. So if it's an undergraduate program and the application is going through UCAS, UCAS is the common application portal. So it's one form, one essay, and 5 universities will look at the same form, same essay. So there it has to be a common essay. You cannot name any university. Okay, and that has to suit all the 5 universities. If you're applying outside of UCAS for a postgraduate program, for example, postgraduate applications go directly to the universities, or there are certain undergraduate programs that can be applied outside of UCAS, so it goes directly to the universities. There, it is recommended you personalize your personal statement or customize your personal statement, adding a little bit about why you choose to apply to that university or why you want to live in that area. We have we do assist you with that. So we don't just submit your application. We'll check your application. We'll let you know, including the personal statement, how you can improve, give you some tips and techniques. Or I can send you a recording of our yesterday's presentation about the personal statement. If you can just send me an email, I'll send you the link to the recording.
Lovely, thanks. That's great. Hopefully answers your question, Maria. Another question about the buzzwords. Does using the buzzword change anything on the university's end or UCAS? Like, do they know that SIUK is helping? And if so, does that reflect on your application in any meaningful way from the admin's point of view?
Right. So we are the authorized UCAS center. You will find our logo on UCAS. You will find our contact details on the university's websites as well. So yes, the universities are aware that we have a buzzword. UCAS is aware of what we do. It does not hamper your application. It does not affect your application in any way, except the fact that universities know that this application is coming through SIUK. So pretty sure the SIUK consultants would have done some background check, and we are recommending students, or the student is eligible, as a consultant would have done the background check, right? So with the buzzword, when you enter the buzzword in your application, it doesn't give us access. We can only see your application. We cannot change anything on your application. So you still have the login details. We're not asking you for the login details, okay? You can give the login details to your parents, teachers, whoever you want to have to give access to. But once you enter the buzzword, we are able to see your application and guide you from there if you need to make any changes, or if there are any points where you can improve. Yeah, so it's not mandatory. Our services are not mandatory. You can apply without a buzzword. That's absolutely fine. But we are here. All the experts are sitting here to assist you, so it's free of cost. Why not use us? Also, with the buzzword, there can be only one buzzword on one application. So I understand some schools might have their own buzzword. If your school is making it mandatory for you, by all means, speak to a consultant about how we can still assist you. If not, then if you don't have any other buzzword, here it is.
Appreciate that. So it sounds like it helps the admins, the admission staff sort of see which students are a little bit more vetted in a way.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, thanks. So a few more questions coming. Sharing the presentation, definitely doing that. How about writing the personal statement and reference letters? You had mentioned a reference letter template. How deep does the sort of help go in terms of writing the personal statement and soliciting, gathering the reference letters.
Okay, so I'll start with the reference letter first. Again, if the application is going on UCAS, UCAS has a certain format or some restrictions. It has to be 4,000 characters, it has to be 1 page, and it has to answer certain questions. So we have a guideline for a reference letter that is to go on UCAS. If we are applying to the university directly, there might be some different guidelines. Different universities want the reference letters in different ways, right? So we can send you the guidelines for reference letters, as well as the personal statement. We can send you the personal statement guidelines based on your subject. Okay, so if you say medicine, there are certain things that the medicine schools will want to read in your essay. For example, NHS, they want to know about your understanding about the NHS. So we give you some tips and techniques about what to add in your personal statement. Law, there might be some other tips. Any other program, physiotherapy, there might be some other tips. So we give you like an outline. Nobody is going to write the essay for you. Okay, it's the students who have to draft their own essay. We do not edit your essay. The editors review your essay and give their expert comments on, delete this, elaborate here, maybe give some examples. You can say this in a different manner. So yes, once we know which subject, which level you're applying for, we can give you the relevant personal statement guideline and reference guideline.
Beautiful, thanks. And you've anticipated the next question too, which was about editing. So it sounds like it's comments, it's not a marked up manuscript type thing.
Yes. So most of the courses, like law or business or engineering, they don't require any work experience. So personal statement can be as vague as possible or as specific to your credits as possible. But physiotherapy, medicine, dentistry, vet med, they require personal statements. So the expectation is to talk a lot about your work experience, practical experience, how to put that across, what is convincing enough for the universities. This is where our editors come in.
Gotcha. Okay, great. So we've got a couple of questions about UCAT specifically. Is it possible to apply to multiple schools with different UCAT scores, or you essentially get one score and you're going to use it for everybody?
Okay, UCAT is an entrance test for medicine. In 1 year, you are allowed to write UCAT only once. So there will be only one score. There's no second attempt. So whatever score you get in your first attempt, that is the only score you can use. The application goes on UCAS, which is the common application form. It's one form which 4 medicine schools will access. So they'll look at the same essay, they'll look at the same UCAT score, they'll look at the same academic details you've put in. So yeah, only one in one academic year. If you're not happy with your score this year, well, you'll have to try next year.
Gotcha. Okay, so you could hold out, maybe get a better score next year, but the schools are going to say that next score regardless anyway.
Yes, and to assist you with that, we do have UCAT trainer. So our UCAT trainer is from Cambridge Medicine School, and he was the highest UCAT scorer ever in history. So he trains our medicine applicants. He does a full classroom training 1 weekend every month, or he does one-on-one training as well. He will have a fee, of course. Get in touch with us. We can tell you how we can put you in touch with him.
Wow. Do you think anyone will ever top that score?
So far, nobody has been able to, and he's up for the challenge. He'd be glad to see one of his students beat him. But yeah, we've personally, I've seen my students score above 3,000. The total is 3,600. So after his coaching, students have scored above 3,000. But his score was 3,400, which has been the record highest.
Cool. Well, that's quite a good get. Okay, and we've got another question about UCAT. How important is it to schools? I'm going to guess it's fairly important, but what do you think?
So there are 35 medicine schools in the UK, out of which there are only 2 that do not look at UCAT. The rest of the universities will look at UCAT. The percentage, the weightage differs though. For example, a university will say, this year we are going to interview the top 400 UCAT scorers or the top 10 percentile UCAT scorers. B university will say, we are giving 50% weightage to academics, 50% to UCAT. There is another university, I remember, which gives 70% weightage to personal statement. So your work experience, your practical experience. 20% to academics and only 10% to UCAT. So based on your UCAT score, we tell you which universities you have good chances. So if your UCAT score isn't great, we look at universities which don't give much weightage to UCAT. If your UCAT score is brilliant, we'll target the universities where they prefer UCAT, a good UCAT score.
Cool. Okay, that's quite helpful. A little bit more knowledge that the average student applicant is simply not going to have. Okay. Yeah, thanks. We'll have, if anybody has any additional questions, please do put them in the chat. We've got another 15 minutes or so. Otherwise, we do have a few from registrations, and one of them is around cost of living. I'm curious if you can speak a bit to how does the UK compare to maybe Ontario or BC in Canada? Is it comparable? Yeah, what's the cost of living like?
Right, so UK is very tiny, I believe. UK would be the size of Ontario. It's not huge. London is the most expensive spot in the UK. So the government of UK has given a figure for the cost of living. When I say cost of living, there are only two elements to costs. One is tuition fees and one is living expense. So whatever is not tuition fees is living expense. So living expense includes your rent, food, travel, entertainment, groceries, stationery, everything. Okay, so living expense in London, as per the government of UK, is £12,000 for the year. It doesn't come up to that much. It's a figure given by the government. So unless you party every Saturday, it doesn't come up to £12,000. If the university is outside London, the government says you need £9,000 for any university outside of London. Now, the more you move away from London, the cheaper it gets. I studied at Bangor University, which is at the west end of UK. It's in Wales, and hence the cheapest place to live in. So I can say I didn't spend more than £5,000 or £6,000 for the entire year. Also, you are allowed to work part-time during your education, except medicine, dentistry, vet med, except if you go to Oxford and Cambridge. Oxford and Cambridge do not allow you to work. Medicine, dentistry, vet med students are not allowed to work. Anybody else can work in the UK, and you are able to take out your pocket money, leave your rent. You can manage the rest of the amount using your part-time job. Part-time during term, when your lectures are on, you can work full-time during vacation. Coming to vacation, there are 3 vacations. So first semester is September to December. Then you have Christmas break for a month. Second semester is January to March. Then you have Easter break for about 2 weeks. Third semester is April to May, or June, whenever your last exams are scheduled. And then you have summer break for 2 months again. So during break, you can work full-time. During lectures, you can work part-time, up to 20 hours a week.
Cool. Thanks for adding that. Pretty similar to what we have here in Canada as well, for international students. Okay, we've got a few more questions coming into the chat. You mentioned Cambridge and Oxford as sort of outliers in terms of part-time work. How about what students should consider if they're trying to decide between the two, Cambridge and Oxford? How would you recommend splitting that decision? How do you make the call?
Right. I believe you're asking because you know that you cannot apply to both together.
Right.
So yeah, you're not allowed to apply to both Oxford and Cambridge in 1 year. You can apply to only one out of the two. Now, how to decide that is really, well, first depends on your subject, what program you're applying for. All the universities have some niche or some forte, like the top ranked universities. LSE is best for economics, law, politics. UCL for medicine, Imperial is more for medicine, Oxford, Cambridge more for technology, and so on. So we need to see first what your subject or what subject you wish to study. Second, we need to determine what you want to do with that degree. If you say, I want to study this degree because I want to work at a higher post after graduation, well, then I'd recommend universities which offer you or make you market ready, which offer you placements during your program, right? So there are universities which offer something called a sandwich year. So first year you study, second year you study, third year you work and earn full time. Fourth year you come back and complete the third year of education. So after 4 years, you have a bachelor's degree plus 1 year of professional work experience, plus you would have earned 1 year's worth of money as well. If you say your aim after bachelor's is to maybe do a master's, get into research, then Oxford and Cambridge are really good. These are research-based universities, right? And anyway, they don't allow you to work. So that fits well. So it depends on what subject you wish to study. Second, what you want to do with the degree.
Appreciate that insight. That's yeah, definitely helpful. So
Oh, sorry. To add one more thing about Oxford and Cambridge, we have an Oxbridge expert as well. He's well, the two of them, both from Oxford University. They handle all the Oxford and Cambridge applications. They'll be able to tell you in detail about how to select the university, what all is required, preparations, what to read, interview skills, everything.
Appreciate that. So is there one expert for each school because they don't meet?
So there's one in the UK and there's one in our Vancouver office. Both are Oxford graduates. They handle the Oxbridge applicants. There's one from Cambridge, but from medicine school, so he mostly assists the medicine applicants.
Fair enough.
But they can answer questions for both the Oxford schools.
Sure, I imagine you've got to have a pretty good handle on it if you're at that point. Okay, so a few more questions, and we have a few more minutes. Okay, this one is about scholarships and funding for applying to medicine straight out of high school. Is there a financial need element, or do accomplishments like strong academics make you a better fit to qualify for financial aid, that kind of thing?
Scholarships can be based on several things. It could be a Canadian scholarship. So if you're a Canadian, you get it. So that scholarship is about like 10% or maybe £1,000. There can be academic scholarship. So if you have above, for example, 85%, you get that scholarship. That does offer a slightly higher amount. Then there are competitive scholarship, which funds maybe 50% of your tuition fees, but there will be application, maybe write an essay. There'll be 1,000 applicants from around the world and only 2 awards. So the higher the amount of the scholarship, the lesser the availability and the more difficult it gets to get that scholarship. The lower the amount of scholarship, the easier to get. Medicine, on the other hand, like I said, for any other program, if it's not medicine, dentistry, vet med, the tuition fees can range between $18,000 to maybe $30,000 per year. Medicine, dentistry, and vet med, the tuition fee starts from £40,000 per year, which is about 55,000 Canadian dollars per year. And it's a longer program, 5 or 6 years. So we're really looking at 450K approximately for the entire thing. And the scholarships go as far as maybe £4,000 or £5,000. So £5,000 in front of 450K is not much of a difference for medicine, dentistry, and vet med, unfortunately. This is scholarship. Funding, you can use OSAP. So if you're in Ontario, you have OSAP, you can use OSAP, which funds a part of the tuition fees, not full. Or if you're in Alberta, there's Alberta Student Loan. British Columbia, the provincial government education loans, you can use that to fund a part of the tuition fees. Plus, you can take education loans from banks. Banks over here, Scotiabank, RBC, there's several that offer education loans to study in the UK. You can mix and match these fundings.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's always good to confirm the OSAP and equivalent eligibility. You can always check to see by school, but any UK university is definitely going to qualify. Okay, a few more questions here. This one is about dental school. What school do you think would be the easiest to get into for dental?
Good question. None of the schools are easy to get into for dental. Like I said, for dentistry, vet med, and medicine, there are very few schools. Medicine, 35. Dentistry, I want to say 18. Vet med, only 8, out of which only 5 are recognized or accredited. And each of these schools have very limited places for international students. I'm talking about 15, max 30 places for international students per university. So you do the math. There are about thousands of applicants from around the world applying. And for dentistry, any dental or medical school, you need UCAT. So your competition is with the applicants from the rest of the world when it comes to UCAT. It doesn't matter what score you have. If there are many others scoring more than you, that's how your chances lie. Unfortunately, it is competitive. And dentistry, well, I cannot name any university, even with medicine. Once you have your UCAT score, get in touch with us. We'll tell you which universities your score best are suited for.
Yeah, I like that. And makes sense to me, frankly. Okay, we've got a sort of technical question. Integrated master's program versus applying to a master's after a bachelor's. What are the sort of pros and cons to your mind?
Yes, so any bachelor's program, if it's not medicine, dentistry, vet med, it's a 3 years program, except in Scotland. Scotland, it's 4 years. So go to Wales, England, Ireland, Northern Ireland. It's a 3 years bachelor's program. Master's programs are always 1 year. There are universities which offer integrated program, 3+1. So it's a 4 years program, at the end of which you get a master's degree. So you enter undergraduate level, exit with a master's degree. Well, the benefit is if you're applying for an integrated program, you're committing to that university for the entire 4 years. On the other hand, my recommendation would be to apply for a bachelor's degree at one university, spend 3 years over there, see how much you like it. After 3 years, we don't know. Maybe you get a job, maybe you get a research project, maybe you're not studying at all. Or even if you're studying, if you want to study a master's program, maybe you have higher chances at a higher ranked university. So yeah, if you want flexibility, apply for just the bachelor's degree for now. See your 3 years how it is in that city, that university. Then it's easy to continue in that university, or you are keeping your options open for other universities. This, however, isn't the case for some programs like, for example, optometry or pharmacy. For optometry or pharmacy to be recognized in Canada, you need an integrated program. So BSc pharmacy is not going to work here. MSc pharmacy is not going to work here. What you need is the integrated MPharm BSc plus MSc 4 years program. So exceptions like this, pharmacy, you don't have a choice. You have to do the integrated program.
Wow, okay, that's interesting. And I didn't personally know that. So hopefully that's helps answer your question, Max. Okay, we've got one more question, just a couple of more minutes. Do you know if medicine is more expensive in Scotland or Ireland? Is it pretty comparable to your mind? Do you have any idea?
So all 35 medicine schools in the UK, their fees will range between 40 and I want to say £46,000 a year. I think Oxford and Cambridge are more expensive. It goes to about 50 or even more £1,000 a year. Apart from Oxford and Cambridge, all the universities will be in the range of 40 to £50,000 a year. So expensive. some universities offer a 6 years program. Cambridge, for example, Edinburgh, for example, their medicine program is structured as a 6 years program. They don't offer a 5 years program. So naturally it takes longer and you have 1 additional year's tuition fees. So that way 6 years programs are more expensive than 5 years, although both teach you the same thing.
Appreciate that. And then it comes down maybe to variations in cost of living, but that's probably not too disparate either.
No, so London is expensive. London, you have to travel via tube. There's not really, I think Queen Mary is the only university which has a campus. City has accommodation close by. There are a few universities like that where the accommodation is within walking distance, but most of the universities inside London will be away from your accommodation. So you'd have to take the tube. Traveling inside London can be expensive. Any university outside London will be campus-based. Students walk or at the most take a bicycle or a short bus ride, but walking is the culture in any university outside London.
As somebody who lives in downtown Toronto, I love to hear that. Okay, so we are pretty much at the end of our time. I want to really thank you, Jaitee, for your expertise and your time. Do you have any parting words of wisdom for us before we let you go?
Well, with UK universities, medicine, dentistry, vet med is very difficult. The rest of the programs are very easy to get into. Regardless, the recommendation is to start as soon as possible. There are universities which come to Toronto, to Vancouver to meet you, so make use of that. Come speak with them face to face. There'll be webinars as well. There'll be another one next month. Make sure you speak with them. We have about 12 or 15 consultants over here, all from different UK universities. Speak with us. We are happy to share our experience. If you're in grade 9 or 10, doesn't matter, come speak with us. The earlier you start researching, the smoother your application process is going to be, and the higher will be your chances of getting into the best matched university. So we are here. All the experts are willing and ready to assist you. So yeah, take our assistance, enhance your application, and good luck with your applications.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Jaitee, again for your time and expertise, and everybody for taking some time out to join us for this session. So have a great evening all, and take care.
Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.